So welcome all, and let's start today's reading session. And it is about the biology, not the business. Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss wrote a famous story about Smith's creature who wanted stars on their beliefs. Stars on their bellies, just so they could feel like they fit in. We are just like them. We have a powerful natural need to belong, and we want to be around people and organizations that share our beliefs. This need to belong is not just a psychological theory, it is deep rooted, or it is rooted deeply in our human biology. The newest part of our brain, that is a neocortex, handles logic, analytical thought, and languages. And we discussed, right? This neocortex is in the prefrontal. It is basically the prefrontal cortex that's present in our near to the forehead of our human brain, and it is responsible for all of our feelings like trust and loyalty, and it controls all our decision making. The catch is that the limbic brain has absolutely no capacity for language. This is exactly why it is so hard to explain why we love our partners or why a decision simply feels right. When we try to explain our gut feelings, we often struggle to find the right words. So whether it is a gut feeling that we want to explain or the love or emotions for something or someone, it's very difficult because the limbic brain doesn't have or doesn't understand the language, and it doesn't understand or governed by the logic also. So this is the main context on which actually today's reading session is based out of. So the key insight and interpretation from today's session is, let's understand the neocortex and limbic brain even better. Neocortex is the rational part of our brain, processes facts and figures, but it does not drive our behavior. The limbic brain is the emotional center, controls trust, loyalty, and all our decision making, completely bypassing logic. The language disconnect. What is the language disconnect? Because our feeling brain has no language skills, we are forced to make up logical excuses for purely emotional decisions. Today's deep reflection questions are, the first question is, can you think of a recent gut decision you made that defied all logic yet turned out to be the right choice? So today we would be reflecting on this particular point, whether we can remember any such gut decision, gut feeling, and we went as per that, and that turned to be a success, even though the logic or the logical brain was unsure or saying no to it. Second reflection point for today is, where in your life are you overthinking with facts and data instead of trusting your emotion or emotional intuition? Where in your life are you overthinking with facts and data instead of emotional intuition? Today's action step is, the next time you face a tough choice and find yourself stuck in analysis paralysis, put away the pros and cons list and ask yourself simply, which choice feels right to my gut? So we need to understand actually where to apply and go as per the gut feeling, and where we should apply our brain, the prefrontal cortex or the neocortex, and govern by that. It is not one rule all the time. So that is what actually is demonstrated in our today's infographics also. We understood which is the analytical and the language and decision center, and which is the center where the language is disconnected. That means the limbic system. So overcoming analysis paralysis is one of the key things which I feel is definitely need of the hour. How to do it? Let's understand. Winning hearts before minds. The heart, that is the limbic, drives the mind, that is the neocortex. High quality fast decisions are made in the limbic brain. Overthinking with the neocortex often lead to lower quality outcomes. And this also can be one of the reflection points for us today. Which of the decisions that we have recently overthought give a lot of thinking, okay, and maybe fall trap in the trap of analysis paralysis. But if we reflect deeply, our gut feeling actually has chosen that particular one, which we might have chosen after a lot of analysis and finally arrive to the same point. So it's a energy and time waste, nothing else. I can very well connect such kind of decisions actually, where my gut feeling or the limbic system has already given a green flag for the product, and I unnecessarily spend a lot of time and then finally arrived in the same place again. So many people also say that if I see something and like some product to buy, or some choices actually they like in their first sight, they think or assume that that is the best, and they actually go for it.
Yeah, because just to add to this one, like this is very prompt example. In our in IT, when I used to work with the CMMI 5 level company, there was a
Mm,
training. It is in IT, like in software development, it is called DAR analysis. Like
mm.
fishbone analysis is a DAR analysis, which is
Right.
decision
Decision
analysis.
analysis.
Yeah, this thing. So in that particular session, there was a training, and they put a matrix in front of us where, and they give the example of making the choice. Suppose you want to buy a car, then there are different features on the left hand side. At the top level, you need to make the ranking from 1 to 10. You need to select whether it is sports car or family car, and which color, which dimensions, and all that. And it was a training, so everyone was actually getting introduced to that analysis, DAR analysis, so that in future you can select the software for your company or any decision making, you can use this matrix. And that is one of the part of the process. And in that particular whole session, I was thinking, and this is what exactly we reflecting today. Because when you see, and just you now mentioned that it is basically your gut feeling, or it is the limbic, or there is some decision already made within you, and it is very difficult to express. Because what happened at the end of the session, and I asked the question to everyone, saying that because before doing that analysis, because analysis come into that very top neocortex part, everyone start ranking, but the
Mm.
decision is already made inside you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and afterward you do a lot of thinking, putting the ranking, this and that, and at the end answer comes like that. Okay, which is matching to your this thing. So I asked them, why we spend so much of time on this training? Because you already know which the particular car you are going to buy. It is kind of internal decision. And it was kind of funny. For example, even if your analysis shows some different result, okay, like
Mm.
for example, go for Hyundai and all that example, but inside if you think about the BMW or Tesla, by default you will go for that. You will keep all your analysis aside, but you will go for that option. So this why the gut feeling is more powerful actually in decision making compared to what are the analysis what you do. Because at the end you will go with the your why choice. Because if you go against it, you will feel dissatisfied in future.
Mm.
So what you said, that is correct. No, go for the overthinking. And nowadays what people complain about overthinking is exactly the same reason. They need to, yeah, we need to, like, I need to understand what is that why factor, what is that inside emotions around it, and why we are feeling that we need to. And there may be a number of reasons for that. It is not just that I want to buy car now. There may be something related in your childhood, there is something inside you which is actually asking you to go for it. So yes, our decisions are driven by that. It is not just the peripheral analysis or what this thing. Yeah.
Very good
Something. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
example. Thanks for giving that example. And yeah, that's true. So one key point maybe from what you have said, actually, the DIR kind of analysis actually works when it is a high stake decision with a lot of data involved,
Yes.
wherein actually we do not have any clarity. And
Correct.
there actually gut feeling might not be appropriate or might not be possible to it. If
Yeah.
it is small, context is small, then definitely DIR is
Yeah.
not required. Directly we will be able to arrive. But if it is a enterprise level decision,
Yes,
wherein a
you
lot
are
of
right. Yeah, you're right saying that, because if the top management asks you the question on what basis you made the decision,
yeah,
at least there is a you can it can present. You can present.
yeah,
This is where neurocortex, all that
yeah,
language part come, where you present that why this decision. Yeah, you are right.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also one more thing we need to be cognizant about it, that just because we know the DAR, so it is not advisable to use in each and every place where the decision is needed, because that will again lead us to decision fatigue or decision paralysis, because we will be kind of spending lot of time in the process, following the process, and then that overhead is actually not that much of worth if it is smaller decision that is required to be taken, where the consequence doesn't matter much. Yeah, so that's right. So, and the last point here, actually, if we see, this is about move beyond the pros and cons list. This is also applicable when we are doing too much analysis for the tiny shift, because the analysis paralysis happens generally when a lot of choices are present to us, and if we carefully see, then the choices are not heavily different, or if I choose one over the other, very different um, outcome altogether I need to face. Nothing, very limited, very little difference actually they will put, and they will put us in a analysis
True.
paralysis mode, unless
True.
until we are aware of the situation, that okay, this is this is what is needed, and this much time is sufficient for me to decide and move ahead. And if I am getting a gut feeling, then let me go about it. Yeah, so this ends our today's reading session, and let's again connect on Monday.
Because the slide which you are preparing is from one particular chapter of that book. Is that correct? Or few pages from that book? Means just
Yeah, I'll tell you the page number from where till now we have covered page number 19.
okay. Yeah. So you group of pages you put means based on that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Fine.
Tomorrow's session, once we complete, then page number 30, 31 up to 32 we will be completing on Monday.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank
that
you.
I can then they just refer to the book, and then if required, then
Yeah,
I know which particular chapter it refers to. That's the reason. Otherwise, yeah, going is really good to you. All good.
yes, and you can always view the recording. It is there in the YouTube.
Yeah.
Just to relate the things that we discussed, and while you are
Yeah.
reading, you need the infographics to revise. Then you can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Cheers.
time.
Thank you.